I got a dinner date at Denny's.
With the wife.
No, man, my wife
Oh.
would cuss me out if I told her we had a dinner date at Denny's.
Oh, she said, "You better
My
not."
wife is not doing dinner. Now we'll do a brunch, we don't mind Denny's, but dinner, oh no.
She wants some good stuff.
Oh yeah, and
I feel on
Applebee's,
that.
and she ain't going for none of that. Like, you can do that on your own.
End up sleeping
No,
on the couch that night.
right. Hey, no, I'm meeting with Evan, who's part of Man Camp and one of his business partners. He wants to see the vision of the WTF. What's the formula?
Let's go, and we live.
Yeah, we live, baby.
What's
going on out there,
go.
you all? What's happening?
What's
Get
good,
this
y'all?
thing shared out. I'm gonna do that real quick. Let's see what we got.
I'm over here bundled up in my hoodie. It's getting a little chilly down here. It's gonna be 80-some degrees this weekend when you get down here, man. So it's gonna be some good weather too. I'm super excited about that. Right before it gets cold again. So it was a long streak of time when you were coming down to Atlanta and it was cold and windy, but now it's gonna be good weather for the second time in a row. So I'm glad about
it. Every time I come down there, it's cold.
Hey, not this time, man. So it's gonna be in the 80s. So enjoy it, y'all. So yeah, I always mention to you, man, that I don't want to tell too much about what we have going on in the background, but even though we're going through physical winter, it's getting colder, the leaves are falling, things are dying, man. But the WTF is going into a spiritual summer, a spiritual spring, and everything is blooming, and we're making moves behind the scenes, y'all. So keep an eye out for what we got going on. So glad everybody's here on the live and checking us out on the replay.
I see the missus out there always showing support.
What's up, Chrissy?
That's our #1 fan right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. No, great meeting coming up today at 5:30. I was joking about Denny's. I love breakfast food, man. I can eat breakfast all day long. It doesn't, any time of the day I can eat breakfast. If I had a choice of my last meal, it would probably be some steak and eggs with some grits.
I would say some chicken and waffles and scrambled eggs myself. So
that's not a bad choice, my brother. I love me some breakfast, man. Nothing like it. But yeah, we're meeting with Evan. So Evan is the guy who put together the Man Camp, where we had about I think it was about 60 young men, and man, it taught them how to tie a tie, how to change a tire. We played with some snakes, and we taught them about social media and how to create their pages. It was so much going on, and they played basketball. We had good food, and it was all men. And I just loved it. And you all know I love my ladies. Love them. But these men need to step up, and seeing the men step up like we do, it just feels great. And even today, meeting at the Catholic Urban Program, What's the Formula is definitely spreading its wings. We'll be in Decatur tomorrow for the Boss Initiative mentoring group. So looking forward to that trip. And then we're in Atlanta this weekend. You talking about it's cold down there. It's 70 degrees and you freezing. Boy, man.
Man, I love being outside. I love the springtime. So when it gets below 65 and that wind chill gets there, man, I gotta throw my hat on, man, because I ain't got no hair, man. So I gotta cover this bald head up. And I don't feel like burning this heat. My doggone heat bill trying to go through the roof. But anyway.
No, we're gonna have some fun, man. So we're looking forward to that trip. Big Don and Kevin is coming with me. A lot of things, and I'll be the keynote speaker at the Path to Prosperity. Appreciate them Kings for giving me that opportunity.
Absolutely.
And we're definitely going to represent What's the Formula. I'm trying to stop saying WTF so much to not rub people the wrong way. But hey, I'm used to rubbing people the wrong way. It's they'll get over themselves. And one of the things, and you made this acronym into something extra compared to just What's the Formula. You said winning takes focus, and we say that. And people don't, I don't think they really get it.
Mm.
Winning takes focus. So what does that mean? Before I jump, if you want to give your spill on that, or either I'll just run with it. But yeah, the
Yeah.
winning takes focus. Like people need to understand this key principle in life, because if you're not winning, there's a reason. So
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and just mention it before you take off with it. So how I came up with it, I don't know. I was probably messing around with Chat GPT or probably thinking of some wild stuff, man. I'm like, we like WTF has multiple meanings, and it's uh like the most popular one is associated with something negative. So even though we turned that into something positive, which stands for what's the formula. What's the formula has its own mantra as well. And I was like, we start off every coaching call with our mentees religiously with wins, y'all. So when
man,
y'all text this number, text WTF to the number below, and y'all apply to get into the program, have y'all's teenagers come into the program, every single weekly call, we start off with wins. Even with our mentors, with our coaches, our weekly call with our coaches, we start off with the wins. We want to kick off every meeting, every interaction with something positive, right? Because whatever we focus on tends to what expand. So we want to focus on the wins because that's what we want to continue to expand. So WTF, in my mind, it was very fitting. Winning takes focus. We talk about the wins, we focus on the wins, and we continue to win. So
mm,
that's kind of where that came from.
I love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. And here's some people don't understand what winning is. Like they really don't get it. And we want to break that down for you all. Like there's so because here's what we look at. We look at big wins. We want the big ones. And we wonder why we keep falling short on these big wins. It's because you don't show any gratitude on your daily wins. So that's why we make this a focus in every meeting. I don't care if it takes 15, 20 minutes of the meeting. We want to hear wins because we know a universal law is whatever you focus on will expand. Because when you focus on it, you're putting your energy into it. Typically, the average adult focuses on bills. They focuses on the daily chores, the children, the spouse needs, but not how often do we actually focus on our own personal wins? Because I tell people to be selfish all the time. And there's a reason because we give of ourselves to so many people and we take care of so many people. We work hard for Mr. Charlie on the job and we do all these great things for everybody else and we just beat on ourselves. We don't give ourselves credit and we do something good at work and what do? We'll have a moment where, oh, that's all right. And then right back at it. That's the end of that. We need to highlight these wins. I mean, to the point to where it should be a celebration every single day. And people are like, how you gonna celebrate every day? You could, I mean, I talk to myself so much, my wife probably think I'm crazy. And I do it in the mirror so I can see myself talking. And I mean, when we say you a bad boy, you did that thing, you did this because, oh, don't be proud, don't be puffed up and, bragging about this, or you brag too much. Man, I've been hearing that my whole life that, oh, you act like you all that because I've been highlighting wins and I'm gonna keep highlighting the wins. And they're like, you act like you're conceited. I say, no, I'm convinced. So it's different, like I'm not conceited at all. I'm convinced on look, there's the wife right there talking, don't brag. I say brag. You need to brag. Brag about some of the things that you're doing, especially when you're doing great work. That is worth bragging about. That's worth beating your chest and being proud of. Like men, especially men. Men are taught that pride comes before the fall. And it does. But there's different types of pride. There's different types of being proud. So everything isn't, oh, if you proud of anything, that's a sin. I don't agree with that. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but Ernest does not agree with that. I believe that there's different types of pride, and a lot of people have the pride of emptiness. I'm gonna let that one sit for a minute. The pride of emptiness. You proud and you ain't did nothing. Like if you save somebody's life, if you bless your child, if you I was just in the drive-through at I forgot the name of the restaurant, but I said, you know what? Let me let me pick up let me pick up the tab behind me. I was proud of that. I was happy about that. It made my day. You think it didn't make the person behind me, like, wouldn't it make your day? But I felt proud that I was able to do that. But as the Mrs. stated, the complaints are acceptable. It's easy. Everybody loves the complainer. Like, girl, did you hear about this? Did y'all see what's on the news? Did you see what's happening in Israel? What about Will and Jada? What about, and all they do is talk, talk, talk. But if you bring something up that you're proud of, then you wrong. And don't be proud. You know, you never know. It coming and it get taken away. You know, all these cliches people say that keep, you know, be meek, be humble. I thought God said be bold. Then he say that in the Bible. Be bold was
be fruitful and multiply. What I mean, produce and multiply what you produce. Like, come on now.
Yeah, but we play on those words, and people use biblical text and they take it out of context, and they'll take something from the Old Testament, from the New Testament, from Genesis, from Moses, all these different, and then build a whole paragraph. And you done took the whole thing out of context. But this is what it say in the Bible. But what did it say? I always tell people, what did it say before and after that statement? I want to know what led that up. What happened after they said? But no, we just know the little cute things. And hey, I'll be the first to tell you, I am an amateur when it comes to religion, and when it comes to a lot of the biblical things. I'm like a child, but I love it because I'm like a child. Like I haven't been indoctrinated with a lot of religions, so I get it. Like it makes perfect sense to me, a lot of the different phrases and statements that we make. But when you win, oh my God, like think about what I can talk about us. Let's talk about what's the formula. What have we've been focusing on winning from day one, and as we focus, it constantly builds. The wins come more back to back.
And but the thing that we must focus on, like you're absolutely right, the wins do come, but one thing people must understand from what we have experienced, and I've spoken about this offline with you multiple times. I'm like, like, dude, like this piece fell into place a long time ago. Like you met this person a long time ago. This thing happened a long time ago, but it's just now coming into fruition now. So it's like, you know, every win that's being compounded now, it's come from something, from a seed that was planted a long time ago, from the action that you've taken a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? From people who had been in your network, who were, you know, lying dormant, so to speak, waiting for this to come to fruition, for them to actually provide value to what we have going on. So I'm saying all that to say that, you know, like you have to continue to take massive action. You have to continue to plow that soil, plant them seeds, nurture it, water it, and let nature do its course, because we can only do so much, right? We don't have full control over any and everything. We have control over what we have control over, but we have to let the laws of this world, the laws of nature, do its thing. But we have to activate those laws by taking action. And that's what E was talking about as far as seeing those results compound. It happened over time. This is almost 18 months in the making for you. I've been around doing this with you for about 12 months. So it's a process, you all. But throughout that time, we've been taking steps and taking action, learning, making mistakes, messing up some seeds. Some didn't sprout, but we still continue to, you know, till that soil and nurture it. And now we're starting to see some sprouts up out that soil, and pretty soon we're going to see fruits, and pretty soon those fruits will multiply.
And they're multiplying every day. Why? Because we never let the focus go. We always focus on the wins, no matter how minute they may seem to the average person, they were a win to us. And we kept beating at the winning. And when you focus on something, it's just like a camera. It gets clearer. You adjust more. And we had to take some pivots and some adjustments, but we never lost faith. We kept going. Now, a lot of people out there right now are running all the plays, doing everything that they possibly can, what the gurus, or as Damon Dillard says, the poo-roos that know everything, and they're running all the plays. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do, and they're doing it, and guess what? They're not winning. Why? Because what they see winning is this big old massive thing, a millionaire or a billionaire and all. Here's the thing. I stated this earlier when I was at the Catholic Urban Program. You cannot feed a baby steak. Dimitri, you and your wife are about to have a baby. Don't ever give that baby steak when he ain't got no teeth.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
And a lot of the businesses are babies. You just created this thing, and you want to eat steak the first month because you heard somebody online saying, "Oh, you can have a 6-figure day in 30 days." Who? I want to show me. Somebody tell me you created a business and you had a 6-figure day within the first 90 days. I want to meet this person because you got to be one of the most amazing people on this earth. And here's the thing. Most businesses, including ours, was not ready for that in the early stages. That baby will choke to death. And you wonder why so many businesses go down within the first year. Because you're trying to eat steak and you ain't even cut your teeth yet. Think about that. Man, they have that little analogy. You can't eat an elephant in one bite. I don't know who eating elephant. I don't know where they came with that one. I don't know, but but it's true though. You can't consume that much in one bite. You got to take some steps, and some people do. They might get lucky. They might have a great breakthrough, and something miraculous happens. But here's what happens: they don't have the infrastructure in place. They don't have things, and that whole little big win that they got starts tanking. And now doubt starts sitting in. Like, oh, well, I won 30 in the first 30 days, I made 10 grand. But over the next 8 months, you ain't made 10 grand altogether. But now you set these expectations so high that you think it's gonna come like that. And listen, you all, this world is built on cyclical cycles. Like seasons happen. After every fall, when you harvest, there will come a winter. It's guaranteed. That's why he got that ugly Green Bay hat on. That's a Georgia hat, ain't it?
Yeah, Georgia.
I thought it was Green Bay. I was gonna take shots at it because man, I ain't rocking them Packers. But
no,
I'm cool with Georgia. I'm cool with Georgia, as long as it's not Green Bay. But my man has the hat on because winter is coming, and for a lot of businesses, we can't withstand that winter because we think everything's supposed to be spring. Everything's supposed to be the Bahamas. The Bahamas have a winter. And it may not come in the form of snow, but it's mean storms coming through. And that's their winter. So the whole world is built on a cycle. Look at what is the earth? You walking on a moving ball. We literally walking on a spinning ball. Think about that.
Crazy.
Everything is a cycle. Everything goes through it, and your business is the same way. So when you overlook the small wins and you just poo-poo them like that's nothing, then somebody is saying, "Oh, you ungrateful, huh? Oh, you don't want to be grateful with the small things that I've given you, this low-hanging fruit. Until you get the big bang, you're not happy with what I'm giving you, and you wonder why those businesses go down and they give up because their expectations were so high. And I believe in having high expectations, but you got to plan this thing out. You just can't expect everything to drop in your lap. Because again, right now, the average person, the new business owner, if they made a $10 million deal right now, they will lose their mind because they are not built. TD Jake said this at the conference once. He said, you ain't got the pockets for $1 million. Remember when he said, everybody want $1 million? Your pockets can't hold $1 million. Your business is not built for $1 million today. It can get there, but let's get this thing in order and focus and focus on the little wins, just the small things. They seem minute, but every morning we wake up, we should have a smile on our face because you won. They say sleep is the cousin of death. How many times we done heard that? The body slows down to its slowest point every night when you sleep. Your heart rate slows down. Your blood pressure slows. The body is still. You are that close to death. And when you wake up, oh, you should have your Kool-Aid on, boy. But instead, you laying in the bed telling me, I don't want to get out of bed. I got to go through traffic. I got these kids. I don't want to, they probably didn't clean up. And you start your day complaining, as the missus stated, instead of smiling and saying, thank you. I woke up. I got another 24. Let's go.
It's about that belief system, man. It's about that belief system.
That BS.
Yeah. And just kind of going back to what you were saying about like the, the business aspect of things, like most of us, I'm not going to say people, because at one point I was included in this statement. Most of us don't, like you say, don't have the pockets for a large amount of cash, but we talk about what we focus on will expand, but most people don't have the belief system for that type of money either. Like you have to honestly, first of all, believe that you can earn that much, then figure out how to do it, and then keep it. Most people have a poverty lack mindset. They have a fixed mindset. And we talk about this all the time. We talk about the two different types of mindsets. And we go over this in our curriculum. We talk about the growth mindset and we talk about the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is something that society programs us with from birth. Oh, you were born in this family. You were dealt a bad deck of cards. Any excuse up under the sun to keep you fixated on the lack, on the things that you don't have, or the things that you believe that you don't have. We're trained to focus on what we don't have versus what we do have, but we do have a lot more than what we give ourselves credit for. It's all about our perspective and our belief system, right? But we mostly think that how we were born is how we're going to die, right? But the growth mindset states that, okay, even though I was, I grew up on the bad side of the tracks, even though I was only raised with one parent. Hey, the one parent that I did have taught me X, Y, and Z. And even though I was raised on this side of the tracks, the bad side versus the good side, I learned street smarts and I learned how to identify crooked people. So you can take a positive aspect out of anything, but it's all about your belief system. And if you're, like he always says, if that filthy thing ain't washed out and cleansed, and if that belief system is toxic, that's what you're going to focus on. And that's what's going to continue to expand. So until you check your belief system, you will never get to where you want to be. So that's
and
where
you know what, bro? What you're saying is so spot on. And it's a bunch of excuses. And here's why this is what I challenge everyone with. How many people do we know that came up out of the hood, that came from being raped, that came from being shot, that came from abusive households, alcohol, drugs? How many people do we know that's doing the most right now, that's out there winning? And they had that type of upbringing, but you using that as an excuse to remain where you are. That's what it is, bro. They use that as an excuse to justify their existence right now because, and then, man, I'm gonna say this, and it's probably not gonna be, well taken, and I don't really care about that. The truth is the truth, and sometimes you need to be slapped across the head. But when you have this lack mentality, and you don't believe, I ask, do you really believe in God?
Struck a nerve.
Ask that. Are you a believer? You believe in God? Oh, you do. So your God is of lack. Your God, you don't believe. You feel like this is it. You feel like this is all you got. That's the God you serve. Now, I don't know what God you got. I don't, because he told me I was made in his image and not his likeness. You can do all things. Then ain't that what he said? Do
Yeah.
all things, everything. And Jesus said this. He said, "You're gonna do far greater than what I did."
Mm-hmm.
Man, this man raised the dead, healed the blind. I
Yep.
mean, did all type of miracles. And he said, we are gonna do greater. But you mean to tell me you sitting there focusing on the lack, focusing on the fact that I grew up in a single family. So go ahead. You had something, Dimitri?
Yeah, I want to chime in real quick before you pivot it. Yeah, and also it says that be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to like that's the key as well. Like be transformed, transform your life by renewing your mind, and that's that cleansing of that old programming that he always talks about. That
Yes.
brainwashing. We all need our brains washed because we've been indoctrinated through the TV, through school system, through the government. We've been indoctrinated to think less of ourselves. So we have to wash all that bad programming out to transform our life, but we have to renew this first, and that ties back to the belief system. So yeah.
And again, like I said, do you really believe in God, or do you believe in what society says? Ask yourself, which one are you operating under? Well, I pray every day. Yeah, your prayers falling on deaf ears because you don't even believe. Because you spend all day complaining, all day coming up with this, and then, but I'm gonna say my prayer before I go to sleep. What? and guys sitting right there like, oh my goodness, like you had 24 hours today, and let's remove 8 of that. Not that we sleep 8 hours, because most of us don't. You had 16 hours while you were woke, and you spent 15 of that complaining, and then you gonna pray? Like, what? That don't make sense to me, man. Somebody help me understand how that makes sense, because the God I serve is glorious. Like, Dimitri, we was just talking about this, man. What's going on with what's the formula? Our little Pete brains couldn't have never came up with this. We couldn't, man.
Nope.
Like, no way did we expect these major shifts to happen and pivots to happen. But the fact that we stayed focused on those little bitty wins, they started to add up. And most business, I think, what's the statistic? I think it's 83%.
Bro, it's high. It's over 75%.
Most businesses fail within the first year.
Yeah.
And even more fail in the second year. And again, what are you focused on? Ask yourself that. So I want everybody that's watching this, that's watching the replay, because we're getting towards the end, I want you to do a self-examination and really say, are you on your phone looking at junk? Because you focusing on junk. You wonder why junk showing up. You focus on gossip. You focus on whatever you're focusing on bills, or you're focusing on lack. I don't have enough money in my bank account. So what you focused on that for, unless you have a focus of, okay, I'm going to solve this problem, solution focused. Like, you can focus on the problem all you want to, and it will exist, and that problem will grow. But what would happen if you took that same energy and you focused on the solution? Do you even know what the solution is? Have you even given yourself the opportunity to find a solution? Because there are no absolute other than death. We all got, when it's over, it's over. But while we living here, it's not. I know I work with people that are homeless, drug addicts, that have more belief in life than some millionaires that I know. But again, it's about the focus. What are you focused on? And we want everyone to win. That's the thing. We want everyone to win. But are you focused on the fact that, man, Lonzy, shout out to my guy Lonzy,
Hey,
Lonzy in the same program, and Lonzy out there winning, but I'm not. So what he doing? You know, and did you ask him what he doing? Or are you sitting back to I get tired of hearing about Lonzy all the time, all these wins he got. He get on my nerves. Every time we in a meeting, it's Lonzy, Lonzy, Lonzy. It's Dimitri. Think of how people, man, it's people that are doing this every day with our wins. And they wonder why they're not winning. Whereas with me, Lonzy knows this. I'm going to call him. I'm a DM like, bro, man, how did you do this? What's going on with that? Can I be on your call every Monday at 12:30? Can I be a part of what you got going on? Will you join my challenge? Will you bless my people? See, that's when you start focusing on winning. And then you win through focus. Winning takes focus. You got to do it, you all. So if you find yourself not winning, it's not the program, it's not the mentor, it's you. Your focus is so outside of you that you wonder why you're not winning. But if you bring that focus within and say, what is it about me that keeps me from winning? Because I'm in the same program as Lonzy. I'm in the same program as Rosa, as Antonia. And I see them out there doing their thing, but I'm not. It's not the program. It's not that they're so unique, even though they are very unique. But everybody, this is designed for everyone to win. The world is designed for this apex machine that is you to win, the one-on-one, the unique individual that you are to win. And if you are not, you have to look within before you look out. That's why we have to reach in before you reach out. You need to reach inside yourself and figure out, why am I not winning? And I bet you this, your focus has a lot to do with it.
woo, hey, bars drop. Hey, I only got one thing left to say before we close out. Like the great legend Lauren Hill said, how you gonna win when you ain't right within? All right, and on that note, we're gonna go ahead and close out this wonderful Fire Live WTF Wednesday. Hey, thank y'all for joining live. Thank y'all for joining on the replay. We appreciate y'all time every single week. Go ahead and text us below on the number so y'all can get all the information y'all need to go further into our curriculum, to contact us for more information so y'all can improve the life of yourself and your teenager in the next generation. All right. So until next time, WTF means what's the formula, but we also know that WTF means winning takes focus.
Focus.
Till next week.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.